So this is my first edition of Live from the Meditation Cave, second edition of Reincarnation Astrology. And I want to show you all, this is my new website. How cool is that? I just had to watch the film Arrival because this symbol reminded me of it and got some good downloads. I'm going to stick with my keep it under 10 minutes theme. So this is sketch number 1, Stephen Sakellarios and Mathew Franklin Whittier. We're going to start out. These are just rough sketches, but I got to show you this. It's way too good. First and foremost, this is the chart of Mathew Franklin Whittier. In subsequent videos, I'll explain what this is. I'm shooting from the hip right now because I'm seeing it. First and foremost, what I want to point out in Matthew's chart is that there's a perfect trine happening between 19 degrees of the water signs. I'm familiar with this degree. I'll explain what that is later. Now, Pluto, 19 degrees of Pisces. Jupiter, 19 degrees of Cancer. Uranus, 19 degrees of Scorpio. And we're going to see that Uranus is conjunct the moon. Jupiter is going to be significant in this chart. Outside is a noon chart, which is we don't know the exact time of death. This is the day of death for Mathew Franklin Whittier. So we're going to start and see what this day of death shows us. Well, it turns out that the transiting nodes, which I've mentioned before as being highly significant, were exactly conjunct this 19 degree. So we have transiting north node conjuncting this Uranus. So Uranus is being shown to us in the language, in the circle language. Arrival is an amazing film. Holy cow, and it's true in so many ways. So I'm going to show you the degrees here. North node, and then the south node is 19 Taurus. Well, transiting Saturn. Saturn is also going to be important, is exactly conjunct the south node. So we have a perfect little arrow, a trine, and a sextile at the moment of death. So the odds of this are, once again, there's just simply no odds. So we're going to look at Saturn becoming incredibly significant and Uranus becoming incredibly significant. So this is to say that Mathew died when the nodes were transiting and then a conjunction of Saturn. It's an amazing thing. So this is the day that he passes. So Saturn in this chart, I'm going to have to point out, is at 3 degrees of Capricorn. This is, of course, Christmas Day when the sun lands on this degree. This degree is, I know this degree very well. I've known it for lifetimes. I'll explain this as time goes on. So this is the most important part. Where are we at? I'm watching time. I'm actually going to watch the time here. So let's jump to proven case of reincarnation. Mathew comes back as Stephen Sakellarios, born on Christmas Day with the sun conjunct this particular Saturn. Remember how Saturn clued us into being significant in the next round. So this is my favorite thing is it's 314. That's pi. Pretty cool. We're talking about circles. And this is a good verified date of birth. Time of birth, actually. So what we're looking at now, so this is our first big hint Now let's look at the south node, the Sakellarios chart. Uranus. Remember how I said remember how I said that Saturn and Uranus are going to be significant? Uranus is conjunct the south node. And what else in Matthew's chart? We have Jupiter, the Sun, and Mars exactly on this, well, not exactly, but right on the south node. This is basically what people think of when the south node points to your past life. The idea that you would find Sun, Jupiter, Mars stellium conjuncted. This does not happen all the time in all cases of verified reincarnation, but this is a case where the language of the stars, this circular language, 3.14159, one in there, is showing, oh yeah, you better believe it. Now, the moon is in Virgo, very close to this ascendant. They're a degree off. Now, each of these times could be rectified by a minute or two to align those things. I don't do that unless I had some other reason. So we have very amazing the Sun conjunct Saturn, and then this signifier Mars on the south node, pointing to the personal planet. Um, there are other aspects of this chart that I will get to in subsequent videos, but I'm just shooting from the hip here. Now, let's also remember that Matthew had Uranus conjunct the moon, moon conjunct the ascendant, and then here is the ascendant with Mars and Saturn. So this is just sticking with the map. We'll do interpretations later. This is a remarkable, especially when we add the moment of death or the time of death, the day of death. We don't have the moment, remember? Just the day of death. I've been comparing this to multiple other charts that are in the private files, and this follows a very significant pattern. Now, the other thing is Jupiter becomes a signifier. Jupiter is conjunct the Sun in Matthew's chart and in the Sakellarios chart. Jupiter shows up in 19 degrees. It's in conjunct in an air sign, but it's when we're looking at degree specificity, that's the one planet that shows up, and this is a hidden degree. So in the ways that most past lives are kind of hidden, well, if you can see the hidden things if you know how to do that. So this is sketch one. This is as far as I go tonight, and I'm going to do a handful more. As rough as I can make these drafts, I'm just going for it. So but this is an amazing case. After a few more sketches, I'll be able to put together a solid video, really documenting all the other aspects, including other personal relations of Matthew and what they signify in their. All of our souls communicate through this language. We riff off of each other. I'm going to show you my wife's death, the relationship to my chart. We use this pattern language amongst our souls, and we'll be able to establish some pretty clear uh, pattern language here. So anyway, I'm really right brain right now, so don't worry, don't mind me. There's more to come. So I'm gonna end the share screen and stick around for sketch number 2 very soon.